Hey Phoenix Army, what's up? Ice Phoenix here. And today, we're filling out brackets. It's March Madness season, baby. So, time for the predictions and see who I think is going to win it all this year. Hey, Gonzaga versus Norfolk State. We're at State. Well, obviously Gonzaga. Oklahoma versus Missouri. We're going Mizzou. Creighton versus Santa Barbara. 12-5 upset. Santa Barbara. Virginia versus Ohio. Virginia. USC versus Wichita State or Drake. Pick Wichita State to win. They're pulling out the shocker. Kansas versus Eastern Washington. Kansas. Oregon versus VCU. We're going VCU. Iowa versus Grand Canyon University. Well, Iowa. We're going to second rounder. We're going by region. Gonzaga versus Mizzou. Zaga. Santa Barbara versus Virginia. We're going Virginia. Wichita State, Kansas. I love Wichita State. We're going Kansas. VCU versus Iowa. Iowa. Zaga versus Virginia. We're going Zaga. Kansas, Iowa. I love Iowa. I love to see them go far, but we're going Kansas this year. Zaga, Kansas. We're going Gonzaga. Alright, we're going to the East now. Michigan versus, well, who cares? We're picking Michigan. USU versus St. Bonds. Going St. Bonds. Colorado versus Georgetown. Georgetown may be the popular pick. We'll see here. Well, I'm still picking Colorado. I think they're a better team. Florida State versus Greensboro. We're going Florida State. BYU versus Michigan State or UCLA. We're going picking Michigan State. Texas versus Texas. Elden Christian's not Mac. UConn versus Maryland. Going UConn. Bama versus Iona. We're going Bama. You have Michigan versus St. Bonaventure. We're picking Michigan. Colorado versus Florida State. Colorado. Michigan State versus Texas. Big upset, baby. Michigan State. UConn versus Bama. Bama. Michigan versus Colorado. Well, obviously we're going Michigan. They got the championship pedigree. Michigan State versus Alabama. We're picking Bama this year. Michigan versus Bama. We're going with Michigan. Baylor versus Hartford. Baylor. North Carolina versus Wisconsin. On Wisconsin, we're picking the Badgers. Villanova versus Winthrop. Well, Villanova is a team that I was going to go all the way or they're going to get knocked out in the early rounds. This is one of their years that I could see them getting knocked out in the early rounds. And Winthrop only lost one game all year. We're picking Winthrop. Purdue versus North Texas. Purdue usually does well in the tournament. We're picking them. Texas Tech versus Utah State. We're picking Utah State. Arkansas versus Colgate. Arkansas. Florida versus Virginia Tech. Florida. Ohio State. Oral Roberts. Ohio State. Baylor versus Wisconsin. Have to pick Baylor. Winthrop, Purdue. Purdue. Utah State versus Arkansas. Arkansas, no, I mean, I'm picking Arkansas. Florida versus Ohio State. Hate to take the Buckeyes, but I have to. Louisville versus Drexel. Picking Louisville. Chicago versus Georgia Tech. We're picking Loyola Chicago. Sister Jean's going to be happy with that pick. Tennessee versus Oregon State. Tennessee. Picking Tennessee. What? Oh yeah, pick Greensboro. Oklahoma State versus Liberty. I think Jake Cunningham's going to be too much for them. We're picking OKC State. Syracuse versus San Diego State. I want San Diego State to win, but I'm off the clock here. Syracuse. I mean, Jim Boeheim has been here before, and I think he's going to lead the Syracuse Orange past the Aztecs. West Virginia versus Morehead State. Picking Morehead State. Clemson versus Rutgers. Rutgers. Houston versus Cleveland State. We're picking Houston. I mean, I like Cleveland State. Gomillion's a good player, but I just don't think he's going to be enough. Loyola versus Shadow versus Illinois. I think Illinois is going to win the battle for Illinois here. Tennessee versus Oklahoma State. Picking Oklahoma State. Syracuse versus West Virginia. Jim Boeheim versus Huggy. I'm picking Huggy in West Virginia. Rutgers versus Houston. I mean, I'm taking a risk here with Houston. They usually don't have championship pedigree, but Rutgers has none of that. Illinois versus Oklahoma State. Upset pick, Oklahoma State. Illinois goes down in the Sweet 16. West Virginia versus Houston. I like West Virginia. Houston doesn't have the pedigree. Oklahoma State, West Virginia. Shea Cunningham is going to lead Oklahoma State to the Final Four. The only non-1 seed that's going to be there. Zaga versus Michigan. Very close to the side here. I mean, Zaga, yes, they are the favorites. But Michigan, they've been there, done that. They're going to the national championship. Oh, I almost forgot the rest of the South. So, Baylor's going to win that. Arkansas is going to win that. And I think Baylor is going to win that. Gonzaga, Baylor versus Oklahoma State. We're picking Baylor. Michigan versus Baylor for the national championship. And the winner of the 2021 national championship is going to be the Baylor Bears. Final score of the game, 72-68. The Baylor Bears are your 2021 national champions. So these are my picks for March Madness. Hope they go good this year. Thank you. Have a nice day. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and join the Phoenix Army.